At times in life, we face many challenges. Balancing between career, family, parenting, siblings, and whatnot. So at times, we kind of ask ourselves, how do we balance all this? And I would say, sometimes we do need a little bit of faith and spiritual help. My name is Lee Kim, and I have with me today Dato Colin Tan and his lovely wife, Datin Sharon.
Hi.
First of all, congratulations on your recent conferment as Dato and Datin.
Thank you very much.
It must have been very exciting.
Definitely.
Another achievement in life. You have been married for how long now, Datin?
It's been about 3 years.
And you have a young family, I believe?
Yeah, I have a baby girl, which is 2 years old, and a baby boy, which is just one.
Just
Yeah.
turned one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dato, how do you balance all this? Running a big company, chain of hotels, being a husband, a father to very young children, and we all know how young children today need full attention of both parents. How do you balance all this?
Well, it's more so keeping your time right, meaning to say, you have to have a portion for everything in life. So I make myself very clear, when it's work, it's work. When it's play. So having time with family is having time with family. So there is almost like a regime for the whole thing. So I can make sure that everything runs properly. Yeah.
And Datin, your role as a wife, a mother, and as somebody who supports Dato through his daily operations, how does it feel for you?
Schedules are tight. It is definite. We make it quite clear as a routine of we must definitely have a certain percentage focusing on the family as well, because babies now, they are quite young right now, so we definitely need to spend some time and focus on them. Development at the beginning stage is quite important, that's definite. Okay. Apart from that, working-wise, me as a wife, I definitely need to support my husband, to allow him to have definite focus in order, not much of disturbance.
Right, so that he has the peace of mind to go to work
Definitely.
and do what he needs to do and then come home to a happy family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but in order to achieve that kind of balance, Dato and Datin, I'm sure that you have both individually and as a family and a couple faced challenges. Would you like to share some of the challenges that you have faced, Dato?
Difficult question.
And that's the challenge.
Yeah, so that's the challenge. Well, definitely we face a lot of challenges as a young couple and having to run this empire of our own. So I guess the most important thing, like I say, would be having some faith and hope as well. So a couple of years, or not say couple of years, about when I was roughly 15, 16, I was being introduced with a religion, which is a Buddhist religion. So thereafter, having to understand Buddhism and also to practice Buddhism itself, right? I find that there is actually a way where we can so-called get a comfort from, having some hope and having some dreams. So that every time when we need help or anything like that, I know who to go to in a sense. So, I can pray, I can relax myself, and then in a sense, we don't ask for actual realization of certain things. It's just more so pouring your heart out, and eventually you get you get a sense of what you need to do. Eventually. Yeah.
Okay, so you were exposed to Buddhism when you were 16, and that would make it about 16 years ago.
Roughly.
When you were at the age of 16. You're a teenager, and Buddhism comes into your life. Did you learn about the protector Dorje Shugden around that same time?
Yes, I learned about it. In fact, I must say, roughly when I was 14, 15, I was quite a naughty kid actually. So there was a lot of problems in school and all this, and we got to know Dorje Shugden, and since then, then I was actually quite skeptical about it initially when I started, as a teenager, who would want to pray to Buddha, and everyone was laughing at me and saying,
it's
hey,
so not cool, right?
Yeah, that's it. But after a while, when I keep praying and I follow my routine wise, I pray every night and all this, then I find that there is actually some peace in me, myself. And I start to realize certain things, that in life it's not about being naughty, being bad. I start to understand better what I should do and how much I should give back to my family as well. So then on, my character kind of changed, and it's more so understanding a bigger picture, and then from there becoming better lah. Myself becoming better. Yeah.
So would it be an accurate conclusion to say that it was His Eminence Tsem Rinpoche that introduced you to Buddhism and introduced you to Dharma?
Definitely.
Well, that from what Dato Colin has said, it does stress one very important point that His Eminence Tsem Rinpoche has always continuously repeated, and that is we should always introduce Dharma to our children at a young age.
Yes.
And Datin, how did you get to know Dorje Shugden?
It's definitely through my husband. Previously, I'm actually a free thinker, so we don't do much of praying, chanting of mantras. Before that, I was free from every religion. In fact, so actually, my husband actually introduced it to me, and I find it was apparently quite easy to practice, because from what I expected from normal Buddhism, it must be those kind of hours and hours of chanting, and you got to sit in front of the altar just to pray and to get and wish to get what we actually requested for. But apparently, the practice that he actually introduced it to me was simple and easygoing. So I actually adapt it quite fast and easy. And now apparently, I'm also very.
You have full faith.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would also make me think, and I wonder if you agree, and that is that the practice of Dorje Shugden is extremely practical and simple.
Yes.
And given today's modern times, where life is hectic, challenging schedules,
Yeah.
Expectations and demands, would you agree with me that this Dharma Protector Dorje Shugden is really a Dharma Protector for today's modern people?
Definitely yes, because nowadays new generation people, like the young ones, will definitely search for convenience, and we want it to be easy
Fast.
and fast.
All right. So, personally, Dato, how has the practice of Dorje Shugden helped you? We heard that how when you were young as a rebellious, naughty teenager, Dorje Shugden, through his prayers, made you have realizations that, hey, maybe I should tone down a little bit. But as you grew older through college, and now, more importantly, running such a big business, with your father and your brother, has the practice of Dorje Shugden come in to help you at many times?
I must say there's a lot of time that actually practicing this Dorje Shugden, this protector, has helped a lot. Initially, when we were younger, or when I was younger, I was always taught that Dorje Shugden is actually both. One, he's a Majusri. Second, we are saying that he's also a protector, meaning say whatever we wish for will come true fast. So I've been practicing probably close to about 15 years, and I must say that every time whatever that I wish for, right, will come true eventually. So it's something funny, because every time when I tell my friends, right, they initially they laughed at me, but throughout the years, throughout the period of time, they see this 15 years, the growth that I have. Most of them are surprised, So if you're asking about work-wise, I think more importantly is the faith in this religion. It has actually in a sense, altered us. Why I say altered us was because years ago, when we first started and we have a lot of confusion on where to go to or what to do.
In terms of what, your business?
Yes, in terms of our business. And we do have also Dorje Shugden's help in terms of Tsem Rinpoche did some divination for us, and he exactly tell us what to do and what we can see in the future. And following suit his advice, I think 10 years down the road, we really see and are really reaping the returns in a sense from all these advices.
So the advice of Dorje Shugden as well as the blessings of your guru,
Tsem
Tsem
Rinpoche,
Rinpoche,
yes.
you have had a lot of success
Yes.
with your business, your family's business.
Yes, correct.
How about yourself? I would imagine you knew of Dorje Shugden after you got married, which is about last 3 years.
Yeah.
How has Dorje Shugden's practice helped you?
I must say that I realized after getting know Dorje Shugden, which is the protector of ours, my life are more focused in a sense, and I feel that in a way that indefinite, every single individual needs to have a place to rely on, and we need to have a place that we need, when we need in need of someone to speak to, there's someone that we can that's been there for us. So Dorje Shugden was being introduced it to me, and I felt the chemistry just works in the sense when I first see it and I just feel it. Oh, this is special, yeah, in a way. So
you have a very good relationship with Dorje Shugden that clicked.
yeah,
Something like love at first sight.
Okay, so I do not actually ask for protector in the sense of materialization kind of wishes. Most of them are quite in general. So apparently, the more I practice over it, the smoother it got in my daily lives and in overall, definitely in my family portion where the kids' health are all being taken care of. So I felt it's a relief to me because we definitely have a lot to fulfill on in life. So and with the schedule and all the requirements that we need to go on in life, so these are important.
For me to gently summarize that what you found with the practice of Dorje Shugden is the comfort he gives you and the focus you have, and more importantly, it sits and resonates in your heart. And you feel that it's also important that he is protecting your children as well. Okay, Dato Colin, earlier you mentioned how your practice of Dorje Shugden helps you with your business. Is there any particular incident that you would like to share?
It is actually funny that every time when I've prayed for anything, right, not just for business-wise, in a sense for wealth, but also when I have faced problems, when I have situations where there needs to have more than just money matters aside, company's decision and all this. Funnily, I always get the resources that I need, like the people coming in telling me, Colin, these are the few decisions that you can make that will be better for the company. So it's not just one instances. I have a few examples on them coming to help me out. So I must say that I'm really blessed because with all this help that I have, right, I'm where I am today.
Right, so Dorje Shugden has brought you helpful people at the right time for you to make decisions.
Correct.
That's wonderful. I also understand that when Dorje Shugden grants our wishes, it is beyond just for one's personal self-gain, but for a much bigger benefit. And can you relate this to what Dorje Shugden or how Dorje Shugden has helped you?
I guess, initially when, like I say, when I started Buddhism, right, Tsem Rinpoche actually taught us that Buddhism is more than that. Even Dorje Shugden is more than that. You don't pray for him for just, I want a car, I want something like this. But I mean, as young as when I was young, 15, 16, definitely we pray for this, or give me good results, let me be cleverer and that kind of stuff. And eventually it works, I mean, funnily it works, but I do see beyond it. I do see beyond that, Buddhism, practicing Dorje Shugden. It's not about what you want, but it's about how much you can give back to the society. So my take is, when you practice Buddhism and you practice Dorje Shugden, the resources that is given to you for us to have like a stable job, for us to have a stable business, family, kids, so that once everything like this is stabilized, then we have the time to actually give back to the society, have time to give to the community. And for me, this is especially important because my wish when I was much younger till now is still the same. Whatever that I take back, I would like to give back to the society. And apparently, with DS, with us, right, with this strong faith, it's showing that, whatever that we are doing really relies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, my last question, which of course can extend to other questions. As you are aware, the practice of Dorje Shugden is associated with a controversy. And one of the biggest arguments is that the practice of Dorje Shugden is demon worship. What is your take on that, Dato?
Right, like I say, I've known Rinpoche himself for about 16, 17 years, and also I've been practicing Dorje Shugden as well, ever since I'm young. So far, I mean, obviously as a businessman, I've seen a lot, I've seen Christianity as well, I go for Taoism as well initially when we have a lot of problems. And every time when we go through all this, right, they always say something in return, which is to give something back. But as for how Rinpoche actually taught us, or how Rinpoche actually said to me, was that Dorje Shugden is actually Manjushri himself, in a sense like a Rafu Manjushri. So whatever you ask for, right, as a Buddha, you don't need to give back. And it is especially true. Why I say that is because, I mean, obviously as a businessman, we get back so much, but eventually, I take so much, eventually not that I don't give back, it's just that at times we tend to forget about it and all this. And for the past 15 years, I'm fine. Nothing is wrong with me, and I still, I continue on practicing Dorje Shugden, and he's continuing giving us things in return, which only can say that it's actually a compassion Buddha. Mm-hmm. So I tend to disregard whatever has been said. Since my life, I've seen myself what have happened, and continue on, I know what I can achieve with this strong faith in this Buddha.
And that's very interesting because what you're saying is, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that Dorje Shugden has done a lot and granted a lot of wishes. And yet, even though you realize you could have done more back for Dorje Shugden, which sometimes we do forget, you've never been punished.
Yes.
So as such, you debunk the idea that this is a demon, but actually a compassionate Buddha.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Now, Datin, I think this question will resonate more with you. In this controversy, families are split. Families are separated. Animosity is created among family members because some members choose to remain Dorje Shugden practitioners and some choose to not continue with the practice. What are your views on such a consequence that families are broken up?
I personally do not actually agree with that kind of saying where practicing this particular religion is it means separation and disharmony. I actually felt, in a way, by practicing Dorje Shugden, we actually create a greater bond in between both of us, and definitely within the family. We understand more what family value is. So I personally felt that this particular statement is incorrect, where I feel Dorje Shugden is a place where everyone can actually gather together and unity will definitely be formed.
So yes, you've heard it, Dorje Shugden brings out the best in us, compassionately, and full of wisdom.